when you get ready to walk in the doors to do anything that you need to do, your financial stuff is set. And that takes us to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. When you use a standard of practice for financial management in your company, you want to make sure that you are um, operating in a procedure for your investments. So we talked about tax certificates, and if you have not looked at, you want to always take a look at the podcast. You saw the little image of the podcast at the beginning of this video. I include that image there. If you guys are not taking advantage of the podcast, shame on you. No, shame off you. No shame, no shame. The devil is a liar. We rebuke shame. But listen, I want you to listen to that podcast. Why? Firstly, because almost every day you're going to see new episodes, and those episodes have to do with what I'm teaching you in the class. And see, the more you hear this, because a lot of you already know this, but the more you hear it, the more comfortable you become with moving into the application of what it is that you're hearing. Okay? Yeah, you become more adept and prepared to move into the actual application. Right now it's going into your neocortex as information, but pretty soon your limbic system is going to want to participate in all of this stuff that you're learning. And so you're going to get involved with trial and error and actually doing these things and going through the steps. They really don't take that long. It's a matter of stepping into it and starting them and doing them. And most of you have assistants. You have people that are already working for you, and you can put them on these tasks. If somebody's already handled your books for you, they can handle setting up that general ledger and setting up your AR, and they can handle overseeing somebody that's data entry to enter all of your AR. Okay, so if you look at this AR report, what you see, and I'm sorry that okay, so it wouldn't allow me to put it in here in Excel, so I had to change it to PDF. If you take a look up on the upper right hand, upper left hand corner, what you see are columns. The first column is the county, because we do abstract, so the county where the property is located, and then the client's name, then the order number, and the client again, and then the fee. Okay, so we have clients that send us orders, and then the name of the borrower, call them clients as well. All right, all of that's there, and the date that either the fee was paid or the date that the report was supposed to be completed. Can you see we have columns there? Depending on what type of product you offer, you may just service one type of product, but you have several clients. You need an AR sheet for every client. Each time you service someone, you need their information here. You need the billing information here, the invoice here, the date that the service is rendered, that needs to go here. Yes. That's called your AR report. And when they pay, you need to make a column for that as well. When they pay, you need to put that date in there when they paid. Yes. Okay. The reason why that's important is because if you, for any reason, really, but specifically if you have to do anything with lenders or insurance, they're going to want to know your production. And so this gives them an idea of your production. Matter of fact, if you go into a financial institution and you're asking them about financial affairs, what they're going to say to you is that they want to see that you are financially viable. The way that you show them that is with your AR report. Yeah, with your financial statements, specifically your balance sheet, in your cash flow statement, yeah, in your income statement. You want to show them those things. Those are your financial statements that you take into anywhere. If you want to lease anything that requires money and you need people to understand that you're going to pay them, you need that. Because otherwise they're going to ask you for a bunch of financial documents that are not necessary. Yeah, if you're looking for funding from them, if you're looking to lease a building, lease equipment, purchase a building, purchase a vehicle, take your AR in. Your AR shows how much you are producing. Keep up with your AR for several reasons. It helps you with collection and it helps you with understanding how much revenue you bring in. Now, when we talk about standard of operations, we're going to be talking about how you, and we're not talking about standard of operations in terms of how you run your business. We're talking about standard of operations as it pertains to your finances. Financial standard of operations. That's what we're looking at. And there's a reason for that. We're going to start with your AR and we're going to swiftly move through this. We're in chapter 12 in this book. Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. Yeah, this book. All right. If you have the hard copy book, it's going to be on page 126. A lot of the information that you're going to hear is information that's going to be coming from management services, because for you, I'm teaching you management services. And I want to say thank you to you and your company. You did an event for me recently, and I thank you for the discount that you gave me. I guess it was professional courtesy. I'm grateful to you for that. I didn't remember to say thank you for that. I'll go back and let you and your company know. I appreciate that. I'll put that in writing. Also, I wanted to say to you, your company has a procedure of sending out the itemization for the client to approve first and then sending out the billing link. You might want to check that. You may want to, from now on, just send out the itemization of the invoice. Yeah. And the way that they can pay, the payment link. And if they pay it, that indicates that they approve of the itemization. They approve of everything that's there. Because the way that you do it, and I won't put it on video, but you may want to consider just sending out the itemization of the cost along with the way to pay, rather than them having to approve it first and then going back and paying it. You may want to reconsider. All right. So as we look at chapter 12 in the book and the additional information that I'm going to teach you today, we've already talked about setting up a budget and certain percentages for expenses and for laying out the payouts and dividends to your partners that may have contributed capital, and now you're going to pay them back. And we talked about already in prior lessons creating a budget, and also setting up your financial statements with your income statement, your balance sheet, and your cash flow statement to show what's going on with your company financially. But today we're going to talk about standard operation procedures pertaining to your financials, but it's going to relate to your accounts receivables management. Remember, we're into management services now. Okay. And the new edition of the book that's coming out, that's going to be released soon, it is mainly management services, how to operate your company. So investment leveraging is something we're going to talk about. along with the accounts receivables. And we're going to talk about reinvestment strategies. Okay, so let's fly through this because it's going to be fast. Okay. All right. So firstly, we talked about managing your AR report effectively. And if you need more information, I can actually, I'm on a different platform today. I'm on on a different platform. I'm not on Zoom. So that's why I'm not able to pull up the Excel document and show it to you. Share my screen and show it to you. And that won't work. So, at least let me look on here and make sure. I didn't see a feature that I could use for that. Let me see. No, that's to add someone. I'm going to work on that because if I'm going to use this platform, I really want to have that so I can pull it up. So I'm not able to pull up the AR in Excel so that you could actually see everything. But I really want to make sure that you're doing that. Matter of fact, I want you to send it to me. And I want you to keep up with your AR. No matter who, what, when, how, or where, you got to enter that AR. Got to do it. Okay? Because it's not something you can catch up on later on. You got to do it now. So that next year when you're ready to purchase that building or lease that building or go into the wholesale balloon business, and you need to prove that you're viable, that you've been in business for a while, that you have this and that, just bring your AR report. That shows. Yeah, your AR report was your financial statements. That's really all you need. That shows your financial standing. So make sure you keep that intact. And not just for that, various other reasons. Yeah, you want to do that. Okay. So when you have money coming in, you have increments that come in sometimes in lump sums where you can take $500 or $600 from that, or you can begin to put away $200 or $300 at a time. And then you can start investing in tax certificates. Tax certificates are when people are delinquent on their property taxes. They own property, some type of real estate property. And they're behind on the property taxes, whether it's commercial or whether it's residential, whether it's land, whatever it is, they're behind on the taxes. Okay, in the state of Alabama, they try not to foreclose on you. And there are several other states that are this way. They try not to foreclose on you initially for property taxes. They give you a chance to redeem it. But they need the money to process your property and everything that comes along with servicing all the properties in that county. So what they do is they sell tax certificates. So people can see the delinquent taxes that the Revenue Commission, are responsible for, that they're having to deal with to try to collect. And they can choose to pay the tax certificate. They can choose to pay the delinquent taxes on a variation of properties. You can do a lot of them. In exchange, the county will give you a tax certificate stating that you have paid these taxes. It will also state the amount of interest that they're going to pay you if the person redeems, meaning that if the person finally pays their property taxes, you get refunded your initial investment that you used to pay the property taxes, but you also earn interest. You get paid the interest plus the amount of the property taxes that you paid. So you get your money back plus interest. That is a swift way to earn revenue. But let's say after the 3-year redemption time that they have in Alabama, the people do not pay their taxes. Okay, they don't pay their property taxes. Okay, what happens then? Well, in that case, you're issued a purchase certificate, meaning that in a few months from that, the expiration date of the redemption period, you can now go into the judge of probate's office and they will transfer that purchase certificate into a quitclaim deed, conveying you the interest in that property, meaning that you bought it. Now, before that happens, as soon as they issue you the purchase certificate, it's wise to have a title search done on the property. Why? Because you want to see if there are any other encumbrances. If there was a mortgage, typically if there's a mortgage, the mortgage company will go ahead and pay the property taxes. But if it's a private lender, sometimes they may not pay the property taxes, okay? Because they don't want to carry that real estate in their portfolio. So it just depends on who is on the title. If there's a lender on the title, you want to know that, because you'll be able to negotiate with the lender and maybe just pick up the payments. or refinance the property and pay off the lender. You understand? Yeah. And then you'll just be making the monthly payments on that property, because typically they're going to owe less on the property than what the property appraises for. So either way, you're in a winning situation, and all of a sudden you own a piece of property. And I can tell you, there is someone within your sphere, not just us, but somebody around your age. They're a couple now, but the individual, she bought a house on this way. She paid the property taxes. She got a tax certificate. Then later on, the people didn't redeem it. They didn't go back and pay their property taxes. She ended up getting a purchase certificate. And then after a few months, she was able to go in and get a quick claim deed for that property. She now owns that property. She married one of your close friends. You sang at their wedding. Yes, you did. They now own that house, live in it, and have refurbished it. Yes, I'm telling you, it's very lucrative. And you can do it with small amounts of money. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can't lose, because you get your money back that you invest to pay the property taxes, plus your paid interest. Okay, so that's one way that you're going to be taken from the money that you're bringing in. So you have to determine in your budget. Chapter 12 is all about budgeting your expenses and your reinvestments, okay, and leveraging the investments that you get and the funds that you bring in, okay, your receivables. Okay, so we're talking about accounts receivable management. So you've got your AR report. You're looking at the average amount that you bring in. Now you've got to determine from your budget, how much are we going to, some companies give to charitable, hospitals. They give to drug alternative programs. They give 10% to programs that are helping the environment, the community. The more people that they help, those are the places that people invest. I myself invest in several. UNICEF, Boys and Girls Club, Prestige, alternative drugs, Ronald McDonald House, places like that. You invest in places that are going to be blessing and helping the community and a variation of cultures. St. Jude, these are places where, so 10% of what your company's revenue, that's what some people do. I'm not suggesting that you do that. And then you may want to take 10% and start with investing. Now, what you want to do is work your way up to 20% investing, but start out with 10% investing. So each time you have a client and you enter your accounts receivables, create a column for investment, so that if the fee on that is $1,500 and you have set up a budget to invest 10%, you're going to make a column in your AR for $150. And that's for investment. Okay. And then when you go to start applying your budget, you apply your 10% in giving, if that's what you do. You apply your 10% for investing. You already know in your mind, okay, listen, we've accumulated $2,000. We've accumulated $500. I'm going to look and see if any revenue commission in Alabama has any tax certificates available for $500 or less. When you find them, you reach out to that county, you pay for it. They send you a tax certificate. You hold on to that. If the people pay, you don't have to look back at it. If the people pay the taxes, the county is going to make sure that you're aware of that. And you'll be able to collect the amount of taxes that you pay, as well as the interest. Okay, so that's one way. We're through with that. We got to move on to bonds. I don't think we're going to get that far with all of this. We're going to have to come back to this. Okay, but this is financial standard of operating procedures. Okay. All right, because there's a video that I want to show you on tax certificates. That's why I know we're not going to get through all of this, because the next thing I was going to talk to you was about bond variations. I'm trying to show you how to build revenue for your company. If you notice, there's a pattern in everything that we teach in this book. We're trying to show you how you are not just cheap cook and bottle washer for your company. That's not going to get you to where you want to be. You want to set it up so that, yes, your company and your accounts are working for you, but you also have investments that you can afford, investment that are not as risky, that provide benefits, like mutual bonds provide benefits. Let's say you purchase a mutual bond from the state of Alabama or from your state, wherever you are. then here's what's going to happen. They're going to give you a tax break. Either it's going to be on state taxes. It depends on what type of mutual bond municipal bond. Forgive me, not mutual bond. Lord help me. Municipal bond. Depending on what type of municipal bond you purchase. Okay. So if you purchase a municipal bond that's going to benefit the state, it's a one that's going to bring in revenue. All right. Then you're going to get breaks from the state. Tax breaks from the state. Let's say you do something with a general obligation mutual bond, where they're doing something to civically help the community in the county, repairs or certain things on the road or in the schools that are necessary to civically fulfill their fiduciary responsibility to the community. All right. They may give you tax break on certain type county taxes. They have certain tax benefits for you when you invest in municipal bonds. All right. Yeah. And it doesn't always require a lot of money. We're not going to have time to go into all of that now. I'm going to have to pause so that I can show you the video on tax certificates. What I'm trying to do, the whole purpose of this, we're into management services now for your company. And if you can remember, not only have you completed the Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for new business owners, and we're now in the stage of you taking your exams so that you can, of course, receive your certification. Two types of certification, one for completing the class and one that shows that you have a certain amount of credit hours in corporate training. Okay. So you've already completed the course. You're in the exam phase of that book. And you're now working on management services, and the new edition of the book that has already been written that you've been studying from will come forth in the form of management services. That's what the new edition is going to be. So it's going to be all of this additional stuff that I'm teaching you that's not inscribed in the book you already have. It'll be in the new book, the new edition, and the teaching, of course, will escalate because it's going to, again, cover stuff that's not in the book, even in the new edition. All right. So let me show you this video regarding tax certifications. I don't think we're going to have time to watch the other video regarding municipal bonds, but at least let's take a look at this one.
Ever wondered how investors earn solid returns backed by real property without buying the house? Listen up. I'm talking about tax lien certificates, and I'll break it down in under 3 minutes with a simple timeline. Hook first. In Alabama, Section 40-10-187 of the Alabama Code authorizes the county to auction or sell tax liens when property taxes go unpaid. Instead of the state taking the property, investors step in, pay the delinquent taxes, and receive a tax lien certificate, property description, tax amount, penalties, interest, and the auction set rate. You get the right to collect. If the owner redeems, you earn interest. If not, you may move toward ownership after the redemption period. Timeline next. 5 steps. 1. Tax delinquency notice. Year 0. Owner misses the tax deadline. The county posts a delinquency notice and prepares a lien sale, usually 6 to 12 months after the missed payment. Your move. Track county notices and auction calendars. 1. Tax lien auction or sale. Year 0. The Revenue Tax Commissioner or tax collector runs a public auction, sometimes in person, often online. You bid, paying a premium or bidding the interest rate down, depending on the rules. Win the bid, pay the taxes, get the certificate. In Alabama, record it with the probate court. 1. Redemption period begins. Years 1 to 3. The owner has a statutory window to repay taxes, interest, and penalties. Your role: hold the certificate and wait. In Alabama, it's 3 years from the sale date. 1. Interest accrual and monitoring. Ongoing. You accrue interest annually. Alabama allows up to 12% per year. Stay organized, monitor the property, keep receipts, and stay in touch with the tax office. 1. Redemption or foreclosure. Year 3 plus. If redeemed, you collect principal plus interest. If not, You can request a tax deed from the probate court in Alabama and potentially take ownership. State-by-state highlights: Florida, online auctions, 2-year redemption. Illinois, interest is bid down, about 2.5 years to redeem. Arizona, rate bids down from 16%, 3 years. New Jersey, fixed 18%, foreclosure possible after 2 years. This video is the intellectual property of Jacqueline Enterprise Inc. For more details to help you understand title abstracting and tax deeds, go to Amazon.com today and order several copies of Title Abstracting Made Simple.
So I'm going to go ahead and show you the next video. And that next video has to do with municipal bonds. The only thing is, after I show you the video, I won't be able to come back because I'll be out of time. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. And then on our next teaching, I'll explain more about municipal bonds. Now, understand why I'm doing this. I hope you understand. You're receiving funds. The way that your company is going to grow laterally is that you've got to start investing some of those funds. You have to start investing them so that your money is working for you, so that you're not the only one that's working. The money's working for you. And eventually, the more you keep doing that, you'll have more time for your money to be working for you. You can think how to grow your company. You can have revenue to help you to support the growth of your company. That's management services. Okay, so hopefully we have enough time for this video because I talked a little bit. Here we go.
The stock market often feels like a turbulent ocean. It can offer thrilling rides to incredible highs, but it also carries the constant threat of sudden, stomach-churning drops. For investors seeking a quieter, more predictable journey, there is another path worth exploring. Many people overlook municipal bonds, often seeing them as too complex or perhaps too dull compared to the exciting world of equities. Yet, in a financial landscape where volatility is the norm, the steady nature of these investments provides a welcome contrast. They offer a way to preserve the money you have worked so hard to earn, all while generating a consistent stream of income. The potential for tax advantages adds another powerful layer of appeal. Today, on October 19th, 2025, with market uncertainties always looming on the horizon, the conservative nature of municipal bonds deserves a closer look. They are not designed for rapid, speculative growth. Instead, they serve a different, equally important purpose: capital preservation and dependable income. Stocks might be the engine of your financial vehicle, pushing for high-speed growth, but municipal bonds can be the sturdy chassis and reliable suspension system. They absorb the bumps in the road, providing stability and allowing you to move forward with a greater sense of security. The peace of mind that comes from a predictable income stream, shielded from market chaos, is a valuable asset in itself. The primary allure for many investors is the unique tax treatment municipal bonds receive. The interest income you earn is often exempt from federal income taxes. Depending on where you live and the specific bond you purchase, it might also be free from state taxes and local taxes. This triple tax-free potential can significantly boost your after-tax return, especially if you are in a higher income tax bracket. A 4% return on a municipal bond could be equivalent to a 6% return, or even 7%, depending on your tax situation. This makes them a highly efficient tool for generating income. Understanding this benefit is crucial to appreciating the true value of municipal bonds in a diversified portfolio. While the stated interest rate, or coupon, might seem lower than what a corporate bond offers, the tax savings can easily close that gap and even push the muni's effective yield higher. It is a quiet advantage, one that doesn't make headlines, but steadily works to your benefit over time. For those in or nearing retirement, or anyone who values a predictable cash flow without the drama of daily market swings, municipal bonds represent a cornerstone of a sound financial strategy, offering a calm harbor in a stormy economic sea. So, what exactly is a municipal bond? At its core, it is a simple loan. When you buy a municipal bond, You are lending money to a state or local government entity. These are not private corporations, but public bodies working to fund essential community projects. Roads, public schools, clean water, local hospital. Munis finance these projects. Munis for short. The government promises to repay the principal on a set maturity date. The issuers are government and public purpose entities that form our community's backbone. States, cities, counties, towns. Special purpose districts also issue munis. School districts, water authorities, airport authorities, public utility commissions, public universities, non-profit hospitals. By buying bonds, you help develop and maintain public infrastructure. In return, the issuer pays interest, a regular income, usually twice a year. 3 key terms to know. Coupon price yield. The coupon is the fixed annual interest rate set at issuance. Example, $5,000 at 4% pays $200 a year. Bonds trade on a secondary market, so prices fluctuate. High demand. Price rises above face value. Low demand. Price falls. Yield measures your total effective return. Considering the price you paid, the coupon payments you will receive, and the time remaining until maturity. 2 main muni categories. General obligation, or GO, bonds. Revenue bonds. GO bonds are backed by the issuer's full faith and credit. The issuer pledges all available resources. That includes the power to levy taxes. Example, a city issues a GO bond for a new public library. The city may raise property taxes if needed to pay interest and principal. Because of that guarantee, GO bonds are generally among the safest municipal bonds. While municipal bonds are known for their safety, they are not entirely without risk. The most significant risk is default risk. Default risk is the possibility the issuer will be unable to make interest or principal payments. While defaults are historically rare, especially for high-quality general obligation bonds, they can happen. A city facing severe financial distress, a revenue project that fails to generate enough income. Revenue bonds generally have higher default risk than GO bonds. Their repayment is tied to a single source of income, like tolls from a new bridge. If fewer cars use the bridge than projected, the revenue might not be sufficient to pay back bondholders. Another crucial risk is interest rate risk. This is the risk that the value of your bond will decrease if market interest rates rise. Imagine you own a bond paying a 3% coupon. If new bonds are issued at 4% coupons, your older, lower-paying bond becomes less attractive. To sell it before maturity, you'd likely have to offer it at a discount. The longer a bond's maturity, the more sensitive its price is to rate changes. A bond's price can change daily, even though its coupon payments stay fixed. This is market risk. Price changes over time. Bond value can fluctuate due to factors beyond interest rates. A downgrade in the issuer's credit rating, negative economic news, changes in tax laws. If you hold your individual bond until maturity, you will receive the full principal back. The risk of losing money from price changes primarily affects investors who need to sell before maturity. For new investors focused on preserving capital and steady income, a few simple tips can help. First, stick with high-quality bonds from issuers with strong credit ratings. Look for ratings of A or higher from agencies like Moody's or S&P. Second, consider building a bond ladder with different maturity dates. That strategy mitigates interest rate risk and provides a steady flow of maturing principal to reinvest. Finally, municipal bond funds or ETFs offer instant diversification and professional management. They hold a wide variety of bonds from different issuers. In summary, municipal bonds offer a compelling proposition for the cautious investor. They represent a calmer, more predictable alternative to the often frenzied world of stocks. By lending money to fund essential public works, you support community development and secure steady, reliable income for yourself. That income is often sheltered from federal taxes, sometimes sheltered from state taxes, and sometimes from local taxes as well, which can make the effective return notably more attractive. Choose between general obligation bonds or project-focused revenue bonds to match your risk tolerance. No investment is risk-free, but potential downsides can be managed. Default risk, interest rate risk, price risk. Manage them with prudent choices. Focus on high-quality issuers. Diversify your holdings and understand your time horizon. Munis aren't for getting rich quick. They are for wealth preservation and steady income, offering a foundation for more aggressive growth elsewhere. They add balance and stability to a portfolio. If you want less financial stress and better sleep at night, municipal bonds can be indispensable. They provide a quiet, consistent hum of income in the background of your financial life, working without constant attention or worry. They reflect a conservative, long-term approach that prioritizes principal safety and regular returns. In an unpredictable world, this financial anchor is both comforting and savvy. They make a smart, calm part of your financial plan. This video is the intellectual property of Jacqueline Enterprise Inc. For more details to help scale your corporate growth, visit Amazon.com and order Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for new businesses. Whether you're saving for retirement, funding an education, or seeking a more peaceful investment experience, municipal bonds are worthy of serious consideration as a cornerstone of financial well-being. They provide a clear path toward achieving your goals with confidence and calm.
Remember to watch the podcast, because every time you watch, you become more and more familiar with all of the teachings. That podcast contains all of the teachings that come from the book Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. It also includes a lot of the new edition in terms of management services. So make sure you consistently watch the podcast. Even if you think the episodes are the same, I'm telling you they're not, because I add new ones every day. Now, the order that you're looking at them may start out with some of the same videos, but there are several other videos in there teaching you, reinforcing what you've already learned from your courses. All right, so remember to watch the podcast.